Hello, I'm Kari Samuels, your intuitive counselor and happiness coach with your December forecast. And yay, we finally made it to the last month of the year. I bet you thought this day would never come. And here we are. So this month promises to be an extraordinary ending to an epic year. We have a lot of celestial events, a really incredible lineup of celestial events happening. So I'm going to give this to you in chronological order, but I have to tell you, the energy is going to completely change. We're really going to start to see the energy of 2021 this month. This is when it starts, and this actually begins a whole new era. We are actually moving into the age of Aquarius. Yes, cue your naked hippies dancing in Central Park. This is happening. So December 14th is a new moon total solar eclipse in Sagittarius. Now, eclipse season's always 2 weeks apart, so we had our full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini on November 30th. And this 2 weeks of eclipse season, there's a lot of revelations happening. Eclipse season always brings up elements that have been in our unconscious, elements that have been buried from our intuition. It all comes up and rises to the surface. Anything that has been eclipsed from your consciousness. So that's happening this first 2 weeks of December. And then on the 14th, we have this total solar eclipse in Sagittarius. Now, this eclipse season initiates this whole new cycle of eclipses. The moon's nodes change signs every year and a half, and that means we have a different set of eclipses every year and a half. So we're moving out of the Cancer Capricorn eclipses that we've experienced, which is all about learning how to have self-care, learning how to take care of your emotional needs, what it takes to feel secure, balancing that with your work and your ambitions. And we have seen a lot of that. And now we move into this Gemini North Node, which is all about communication and seeing different perspectives, with this Sagittarius South Node, which is going to help you change your ideals, change your belief system so that it is more broad-minded. Now, this is all happening in this backdrop of this Aquarian energy, which is all humanitarian. It's more civil rights oriented. It changes societies to be more inclusive, and we really need that now. So this is all about your consciousness being expanded. So that is the eclipse on the 14th. Now, 14th is a 1 plus 4, 14th is a 5-day, and this eclipse is also at 23 degrees in Sagittarius, which is also a 5. Next year is a 5 universal year. So again, we're getting a glimpse of this new energy, this more joyful energy in many ways, this freedom-oriented energy that is starting to transpire. And we're going to see a lot more of that in 2021. Now, Saturn moves into Aquarius on December 17th. Saturn is the planet of structures, all the structures in our life. It's also the planet of discipline and hard work and boundaries. So Saturn is moving into Aquarius, so we're going to start building structures that are more humanitarian, that benefit the greater good. Aquarius is the power to the people sign, so that is what we're building towards. Now, Saturn is also, because it's about boundaries and restriction, this is going to be a slow building process. This is what Saturn in Aquarius is going to bring us. So this is a huge transition. Saturn moving into the sign on the 17th. Now on the 19th, just a couple days after that, Jupiter moves into Aquarius. Now, where Saturn is about restriction, Jupiter is about expansion. So we're going to have innovations in technology, innovations in our society that's going to bring us more freedom. Jupiter expands everything it touches. And it brings joy and abundance and optimism. Again, we need that in our society. So this also brings more freedom ultimately as well. Now, Saturn and Jupiter are considered the social planets. They affect our society. And every 20 years, Saturn and Jupiter meet up in the heavens in an event that's called the Great Conjunction. That is when Saturn and Jupiter meet up in the exact sign. And every 20 years, it brings about a new set of somewhat radical social changes. So it happened in 1900, it happened in the Roaring 20s, it happened in the 40s, it happened in the 60s, it happened in the 80s, and thank God we don't have 80s hair anymore. And now it happened in the 2000s, and again in 2020 we have a whole new societal change in what's called the Great Conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn. Now, what is so extraordinary about that? I mean, it's pretty incredible all by itself. That's happening on the solstice, which is another day where the veils are lifted between heaven and earth. And that's also a restart of your consciousness. Now, here's the thing. On that day, Jupiter and Saturn are meeting up at 0 degrees. Not 15 degrees, not 20 degrees, 0 degrees. 0 degrees is incredible potential. 0 is the opposite of nothingness. It is everything. It is wholeness. It is completion. It's spiritual protection. It is the beginning. It is total seed energy. It is having the most fertile energy for your fullest potential. So having Jupiter and Saturn meet up at 0 degrees on the solstice, again, is extraordinary. Now, they're meeting up in Aquarius. Now, this is the first time in 200 years that they're meeting up in an air sign. For the past 200 years, they have been meeting up in earth signs. Earth is all about the material realm and also materialism. So this is what is ushering in the age of Aquarius. Now, an age is 2,000 years. So this is like the seed energy of the age of Aquarius. So it's not like we're going to be having this utopian society all at once. This is work. This is what Saturn brings us, is work and discipline. But this is what we're building towards. This is so exciting. So this is a once every 200 years elemental shift, moving from this earth to air, which again is about consciousness and communication. And this age of Aquarius that we are seeding right now. This is exciting times. So I want you to make the most of this incredibly potent energy. And this is the time of year where we start to make our intentions and start to figure out what we want to manifest for the year ahead. This is different because, first of all, 2020 has not been an ordinary year. There's some trauma that needs to be healed, but also because our consciousness is changing, because we're changing our very core, there needs to be a process of making sense of what's happened before we move on. So this is what I'm recommending before you set any intentions for 2021. So I have 3 steps that are going to help you do that. Now, your first step is to take stock of your spiritual lessons. So I highly recommend that you journal. Now, that doesn't mean you need an actual formal book, but write things down, because there's something that happens when you connect your heart through your hand and paper. It's different than typing on a computer. So write things down on paper. What happened? What were the most challenging aspects of the year? Now, that's going to take a while. So write down all of the challenges that you've experienced this year, personally, professionally, in your home, in your life, anything, just dealing with what's happening, anything. Write it down. And then one by one, you can ask your higher self, ask your spirit guides, just connect with your higher self and say, tell me, show me what I'm meant to learn from this. Dear higher self, communicate through me and show me what I'm meant to learn. And just write, keep writing until you start to make sense of how you became a better person, how you built your strength from this, how you have a new perspective now because of what you went through. So that is step 1. Step 2 is to make space for new growth. There's a lot of new happening next year, so much new. And I guarantee your intentions are going to change. The intentions that you think you have at the beginning of the year are not going to be the same intentions that you're going to have at the end of the year. So it's important for you to simply make space for what the universe wants to show you is meant to come into your life. So how do you do that? First of all, you need to let go of the people that hurt you or disappointed you, or the situations that hurt you or disappointed you. You need to let them go with love. So again, as you're writing and you're feeling your emotions come up, allow love energy to move through you. Allow yourself to say, I let this go, I let this person go, I let this energy go with love. Thank you, you have been my greatest teacher, and let it go with love. That way you're not holding on to anything from your past as you move into the future. Now, your third action step is to tune in to what is absolutely essential for you. This is different than intentions. This is sort of like the mission statement for your soul. Because through the events and the relationship challenges that transpired throughout 2020, you have really realized what you will not tolerate anymore, what your red flags are, and what is absolutely essential for your happiness. Again, this is your mission statement for your soul, and this is going to be like your North Star as it guides you through the many twists and turns that we're going to have next year. It's really going to be quite a year. It's dramatic, it's extraordinary, and you really want to have your core in place. So tune into what is absolutely essential for you, and that's going to guide you through the year, okay? Now, of course, I have some resources for you. So first of all, if you want to get a sense of what you need to focus on next year, I highly recommend you download my free numerology personal year guide. That's going to help you understand what your personal year number is and what you can focus on throughout the year. That is absolutely free, and you can download that using the link below. Now, I'm also having a 4-day event, 2021 Illuminated, 4 days of magic forecasts and healing. So that's really going to give you so many essential tools that you need to get you through. So the first day of this event is all about healing. I'm an energy healer, and we're going to get together with our guides and angels and heal the trauma of 2020 so you can let it go. So if you want help with that, you can sign up for that. We're still in the early bird special, so make sure you join me for that. And we're going to have 2 days of forecasts. We're going to go through the general universal energies of the year, and then we're going to go month by month. And that was super helpful for people who signed up last year. I have received so many thank yous for people who avoided a lot of mistakes and challenges because I gave them a heads up. So we're also going to be covering your personal numerology and how that relates to the 5 personal year. And I'm also going to have a Q&A. So it's quite a really action-packed event, and you can still sign up using the link below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe because I have a lot of insights for you coming up through the many plot twists we have ahead. And if you've enjoyed this video, share it with your friends. I'm sure they will appreciate you for it. So I'm wishing you so much love and a happy December and holiday season. Lots of love. Bye for now.